Hello there, how are you doing? Welcome to yet another video on ES6, and in this video you're going to learn about ES6 classes. Okay, so classes are commonly used in object-oriented programming languages. However, in JavaScript also classes has been added in ES6, but they behave in a bit differently because in JavaScript classes are simply the prototype-based object-oriented pattern. Okay, so we learn about the prototype in previous section when we were learning about JavaScript. So class declarations allow you to define a constructor directly inside the class using the special constructor method name. Okay, so let's write a class here. Class, let's call it person, and by definition you start with the capital letter. Okay, so class person, and then we define properties and methods. So for example, you can directly define the constructor inside the class. So constructor, it will take the name, and then you can simply point to this name equals to name. Okay, now what you can do is you can define method as well. So it's the function. So whenever you create a function inside a class, they are called methods. Okay, so say name, and then what you can do is, let's say console.log this name. Okay, now what we can do is we can instantiate this class. Let's create a variable let person equals to new, using new keyword, new person. So this is how we can instantiate this class using this constructor. Now person dot say name. Now we have to pass the name. So let's say Ryan, and you get Ryan. Okay, so what is happening here is this is equivalent to, let me comment this out, that is equivalent to saying person dot prototype dot say name. It's just like adding this method to this class prototype. Okay, every time we use a constructor, it creates this prototype object behind the scene. So every time we use a constructor, it does that behind the scene. It creates the prototype object. So when we instantiate this new class using this new keyword and this constructor, what happened is behind the scene prototype object has been created. So I can simply add person.prototype.sayName method equals to, let's say function console log this name. This will result the same as it did before. So give it a try. As you can see, it's the same. So in JavaScript, the classes are simply the prototype-based object-oriented pattern. Okay, so you're just extending this class using the prototype. Okay, so let me comment this out and restore this. So this is an absolute basic of classes in JavaScript. Now class declarations are not hoisted, so that is another good reason to use classes in JavaScript, because if it was a function, then when the function is created in a global scope, they get hoisted and they become part of a global object. However, when you use class, they are not hoisted. They act like let declaration. Let's move on and learn about all the new features of ES6.